Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different and talk. We're going to do a blood pressure reading. So I'm going to crack straight on with it because obviously you need to be quite calm. But there's this thing that when you go to the doctors and go to get your blood pressure taken, your blood pressure will go higher, or your heart rate will mostly go higher because of what's called white coat syndrome. And one day on this channel we're going to talk about all these syndromes that we're like to give each other. But we're just going to try and stay nice and calm and try and get a decent blood pressure reading. So as you can see, the shoulder has to be there, right? Obviously, if you've ever had your blood pressure taken, you'll know how tight this actually has to be. So we're going to take two readings. So the first thing you need to do is sit down and relax. Take a couple of deep breaths. Sit up straight and then hit that button. And this arm wants to be up here. So we've got 130/73 with a 61 heart rate. And then we're going to take a second reading. So 130/73. I'm going to write this down. Blood pressure. 130/73. That's actually too high on the diastolic, isn't it? On the systolic with a 61 heart rate. So there's obviously something wrong there. It's normally 120/80, is it? So there's the second reading, 129/74 with a 60 heart rate. So what we're going to talk about is why nobody cares, not even the NHS care about your health. So when you go to the doctor would probably tell you that a 120/80 is a good blood pressure, but it's actually not. So my blood pressure there is actually high, but only on the systolic, which is the blood pumping out. But I've got a heart condition, so obviously mine's fucked since I got the jab. So anyway, when they're telling you that your blood pressure is 120/80 and they say it's perfect, it's actually not. It's perfect for them because they know that in 5-10 years time you're going to be back on high blood pressure tablets. You're going to be back on statins. You're going to be back on trying to say that your cholesterol's too high. So I actually don't know how to get this this reading back down to lower than 120, because it can be low as 100/60 before you're actually too low. I think it's 90/50 and then you actually got really low blood pressure. So you can go in a range between 90/50 and 120/80. I'm not sure why my blood pressure is that high on the systolic, but I'm going to do some research into it. But that's just all I wanted to say to people, is you need to take into consideration what you believe to be a good blood pressure and what you believe to be a good resting heart rate. Because my resting heart rate there is 60, that's good. But my mate's resting heart rate's like 37. But the chances are, if I put him on one of them, he would end up with a little bit of white coat syndrome and it would go up a little bit because of the pressure that you're putting yourself under. So anyway, that's my blood pressure there. I wonder whether anybody else has got a blood pressure machine, whether they keep a track on theirs. My dad does. But this is it, guys. Most people, when the doctors are telling you 120/80 is a good blood pressure, it's not. Because if you go one higher, you're already in an abnormally high blood pressure. And high blood pressure stops you from being able to deal with certain stresses in life. Obviously, I'm gonna have to actually try and do some research and find out how I can get that down, and then obviously get back to you guys. But anyway, guys, that's a quick video on blood pressure and how the NHS keep telling you that you're healthy but you're not.